Maps have been a big topic in Dead by Daylight for years, depending if you play killer or survivor. Some maps can feel easy wins, and some can feel very impossible. In this video we're going to be talking about why Forgotten Ruins is the worst map in Dead by Daylight, and how it has the highest kill rate out of every map in DBD. Also keep in mind this is just my opinion, and if you disagree I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Alright, so what makes Forgotten Ruins so bad for survivors that even some of the top survivor teams struggle to win on that map? In order to explain how bad this map is for survivors, we will cover the map layout, the low pallet density, and the gen locks, because it's quite easy to hold a 3 gen on this map. And lastly, the portals. The Forgotten Ruins is a map that has both outdoor and indoor, or should I say underground map. It consists of a surface level and a dungeon. The surface level is easier to understand and more straightforward, but the dungeon is a bit more complicated, especially for newer players. This is the map layout I have here on the screen. It will help you find your way around the map and the dungeon and the surface level. And especially if you're new, you will benefit a lot from this. As you all know, the map has 2 floors, top and bottom. First we're going to start with the top floor, and this is around the shack area. We already see a really weak pallet around the shack. And then we have the shack pallet. We go further, we have some pallet here again next to the shack. So far it's not too bad. And now when you continue further up, there's one good pallet here as well. And now there is one here as well in this jungle gym. It's not a very strong pallet, you can play around the skill 100%. Now the juicy part starts when you continue further down. For some reason this backside is cluttered with these bad pallets. We already see one, and there's another one on the edge there. These pallets are so weak that I think that there's a gen here, and if you walk on this gen and the killer chases you, you have absolutely nothing here. You have the portal, yes, but I'll get to later why the portals are not as good as people think. You have another one of these edge map pallets. And the last pallet you have is this one here in this jungle gym. So if you break these 5 pallets that we went by, the good 5 pallets, this upper level is completely useless as a survivor. You have 2 windows and a shack window, and nothing else. If the killer is smart, they can just camp upstairs, camp a 3 gen or a 4 gen, and they just get rid of all the pallets upstairs. Once they do that, you will not be able to do the final gen, because there are no pallets left on the map. We counted 5 good pallets upstairs, and if you thought upstairs was bad, let's start with downstairs now. There is this room here. If you jump from this window and the killer comes the other way, you literally get trapped in this room. There is one pallet here that is very weak again. You get literally trapped in this room. Now we have the torture room. I believe there was one pallet here only again. Not a very good pallet. I know you're probably sick of me saying bad pallet, bad pallet, bad pallet, but trust me, I'm not exaggerating. I'm main killer and I know how bad these pallets are. Every time I get this map, it's always easy wins. When I chase survivors, especially downstairs, I can see how bad these pallets are. At least upstairs you have a few good pallets, but here like there's nothing here that is good. There's nothing. And I know everyone watching this who plays Survivor a lot can confirm that this is true. Lastly we have this room, and once again you guessed it, it has a very weak pallet. Now that we covered the pallet density, we can talk about the portals. Now we have the portals. The portals are a tool in this map that makes you teleport upstairs, or if you take them from upstairs you teleport downstairs. There are 2 downstairs and 1 upstairs. In theory, they sound really good, but in practice, they really don't. And I'll go over why. First downside about the portals. If the killer is right behind you and you take the portal, you really don't gain much distance. And that used to be the case when this map came out, but they actually nerfed it. And the time it takes you to take the portal is a bit longer than it used to be. And also, there's one more thing that not many people know about. You can get grabbed when you take these portals. So be very careful if you get unhooked next to a portal upstairs or downstairs and the killer's right behind you. They can straight up just grab you if you're injured. But luckily a lot of killers don't know that. Second downside when you take the portal, especially if you take the portal from upstairs to downstairs, there is almost little to no safety downstairs. And again, that used to not be the case when this dungeon came out, but for some reason Behavior nerfed it. There used to be a really strong window here, but it's not here anymore. If you take the portal from downstairs to upstairs, it's a bit better. As we went through, there are more better pallets upstairs. But again, if the killer just camps upstairs, they can break all the pallets and just sit upstairs. So you will have to come upstairs to do the gens. And last bad thing about the portals, some killers can straight up trap these portals. For example, Trapper and Hack. Trapper can put his traps in front of the portals, and when you take them, you'll just get trapped. And Hack can do the exact same. Now the last downside of this map is the ability to hold 3-gen or 4-gen. It's very powerful. Because of the low pallet density, you can easily hold a 3 or 4-gen on this map, whether you want to hold it upstairs or downstairs. Usually you want to hold it upstairs, because as we went through the start of this video, you guys saw there was only like 5 good pallets upstairs, and once you break all of them, there is nothing here upstairs, and there is absolutely nothing preventing you from just sitting here at 3 or 4-gen. Sometimes it's only 3, sometimes it's 4, and the survivors will have nothing to counter you with. Yeah, there are a couple windows, but you need more than windows to break a 3-gen. Not to mention, some killers are insanely powerful on this map. Let's take the nurse for example. Let's see how long it will take me to go to the survivors. They spawned downstairs, by the way. What was that, 5 seconds and I'm already in front of them. And then killers like Singularity. You can put your biopod in front of the portals. Plus, it's very easy to hold the 3-gen with the Singularity. As you can see, this map has a lot of flaws. Although I really like the idea of the portal, but in practice it just doesn't work. The portals are either too weak or too strong. When this map came out, it was a bit too strong for survivors and they nerfed it a tiny bit, and now it's not as good as it was. But again, I really like the idea of the portal and I think this map is very unique. But unfortunately it just doesn't work in practice. The gates on this map will always spawn at the same spot, literally in front of each other, which makes them the easiest gates to defend in this game. Look how close they are to each other. And because the gates are so close to each other, that's one of the reasons why killers usually prefer to just camp the upstairs area. Even if you've done all the gens, then you'll have to go through the gates. And the killer can see both gates if they just stand in the middle. And with perks like no word, no way out, it will make this very hard to escape. And because of all the reasons I just mentioned, this map is the deadliest map right now on Dead by Daylight, and it has the highest kill rate out of every map. Let's recap quickly before we wrap it up. This map has low pallet density, very easy 3-gens to hold, bad gates, the map is hard to navigate for beginners especially, and if you are a beginner and you're watching this, you probably know what I'm talking about. Even for some experienced players, this map is still hard to navigate. And lastly, the portal's not as good as they were when this map came out. So how do we fix this map? Well, we already know that making the portals faster for survivors was really overpowered. So the next thing to do, in my opinion, is add more pallets upstairs. There are a lot of dead zones upstairs, especially if you break a couple good pallets. Once the killer breaks about 5 pallets upstairs, then the survivors will have nothing to play with. And that is the main issue with this map. This is why I think adding more pallets is the right idea for this map. I think I've covered pretty much about everything. If I've missed something, please let me know down in the comments, and even if you disagree with me, if you think this map is not as bad as I think it is, I would love to hear your thoughts. Apologies if I have been a bit inconsistent with the uploads. I just had some stuff going on and I also was in the middle of moving, but now I have moved, so the videos will be a lot more consistent. Thank you so much for watching and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good one, guys.